So Hermione is getting upset that she can't, that nobody's been able to find the answer. There's a way of doing it, Hermione said crossly. There just has to be. She seemed to be taking the library's lack of useful information on the subject as a personal insult. It had never failed her before. I know what I should have done, said Harry, resting face down on saucy tricks for tricky sorts. I should have learned to be an animagus like Sirius. An animagus was a wizard who could transform into an animal. Yeah, you could have turned into a goldfish any time you wanted, said Ron. Or a frog, yawned Harry. He was exhausted. It takes years to become an animagus, and then you have to register yourself and everything, said Hermione, now squinting down the index of weird wizarding dilemmas and their solutions. Professor McGonagall told us, remember, you've got to register yourself with the improper use of magic office. What animal you become, your markings, so you can't abuse it. Hermione, I was joking, said Harry wearily. I know I haven't got a chance of turning into a frog by tomorrow morning. Oh, this is no use, Hermione said, snapping shut weird wizarding dilemmas. Who on earth wants to make their nose hair grow into ringlets? I wouldn't mind, said Fred Weasley's voice. Be a talking point, wouldn't it? Harry, Ron, and Hermione looked up. Fred and George had just emerged from behind some bookshelves. What are you two doing here? Ron asked. Looking for you, said George. McGonagall wants you, Ron. And you, Hermione. Why? Said Hermione, looking surprised. Dunno. She was looking a bit grim, though, said Fred. We're supposed to take you down to her office, said George. Ron and Hermione stared at Harry, who felt his stomach drop. Was Professor McGonagall about to tell Ron and Hermione off? Perhaps she noticed how much they were helping him, when he ought to be working out the task alone. We'll meet you back in the common room, Hermione told Harry, as she got up to go with Ron. Both of them looked very anxious. Bring as many of these books as you can, okay? Right, said Harry, uneasily. It's Sunday morning, so this is coffee, not hot chocolate. Make sure I'm not, leaning out of the picture. By 8 o'clock, Madame Pince had extinguished all the lamps and came to chivvy Harry out of the library. Staggering under the weight of as many books as he could carry, Harry returned to the Gryffindor common room, pulled a table into a corner, and continued to search. There was nothing in Madcap Magic for Wacky Warlocks, nothing in A Guide to Medieval Sorcery, not one mention of underwater exploits in An Anthology of 18th Century Charms, or in Dreadful Denizens of the Deep, or Powers You Never Knew You Had and What to Do with Them Now You've Wised Up. That's a funny sounding book. Crookshanks crawled into Harry's lap and curled up, purring deeply. The common room emptied slowly around Harry. People kept wishing him luck for the next morning in cheery, confident voices like Hagrid's, all of them apparently convinced that he was about to pull off another stunning performance like the one he had managed in the first task. Harry couldn't answer them. He just nodded, feeling as though there were a golf ball stuck in his throat. By 10 to midnight, he was alone in the room with Crookshanks. He had searched all the remaining books, and Ron and Hermione had not come back. It's over, he told himself. You can't do it. You'll just have to go down to the lake in the morning and tell the judges. He imagined himself explaining that he couldn't do the task. He pictured Bagman's look of round-eyed surprise, Karkaroff's satisfied, yellow-toothed smile. He could almost hear Fleur de la Cour saying, "I knew it. He is too young. He is only a little boy." He saw Malfoy flashing his Potter Stinks badge at the front of the crowd as Hagrid's crestfallen, disbelieving face. Forgetting that Crookshanks was on his lap, Harry stood up very suddenly. Crookshanks hissed angrily as he landed on the floor, gave Harry a disgusted look, and stalked away with his bottle-brush tail in the air. But Harry was already hurrying up the spiral staircase to his dormitory. He would grab the invisibility cloak and go back to the library, and he'd stay there all night if he had to. "Lumos," Harry whispered 15 minutes after he'd opened the library door. Wand tip alight, he crept along the bookshelves, pulling down more books. Boxes of hexes and charms, books on mer-people and water monsters, books on famous witches and wizards, on magical inventions, on anything at all that might include one passing reference to underwater survival. He carried them all over to the table, then set to work searching them by the narrow beam of his wand, occasionally checking his watch. 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. The only way he could keep going was to tell himself over and over again, "Next book, in the next one, the next one." The mermaid in the painting in the prefect's bathroom was laughing. Oh, okay. So that's how it trails off. So there's a break. I guess you can't see it that well. So we're kind of fading off. Harry's desperately looking through books. And so now we find ourselves in the prefect's bathroom again, I guess. The mermaid in the painting in the prefect's bathroom was laughing. Harry was bobbing like a cork in bubbly water next to her rock while she held his firebolt over his head. The mermaid in the painting. How is his firebolt in the painting? Okay, well, I'll just keep reading. While she held his firebolt over his head. "Come and get it," she giggled maliciously. "Come on, jump." "I can't," Harry panted, snatching at the firebolt and struggling not to sink. "Give it to me." But she just poked him painfully in the side with the end of the broomstick, laughing at him. What's going on here? "That hurts. Get off." "Ouch." "Harry Potter must wake up, sir." I get it. He was dreaming. Okay, that makes sense now. "Stop poking me." "Dobby must poke Harry Potter, sir. He must wake up." Harry opened his eyes. He was still in the library. The invisibility cloak had slipped off his head as he slept, and the side of his face was stuck to the pages of "Where there's a wand, there's a way." He sat up, straightening his glasses, blinking in the bright daylight. "Harry Potter needs to hurry," squeaked Dobby. "The second task starts in 10 minutes, and Harry Potter—" "10 minutes?" Harry croaked. 10 minutes?" He looked down at his watch. Dobby was right. It was 20 past 9. A large, dead weight seemed to fall through Harry's chest into his stomach. "Hurry, Harry Potter!" squeaked Dobby, plucking at Harry's sleeve. "You is supposed to be down at the lake with the other champions, sir." "It's too late, Dobby," Harry said hopelessly. "I'm not doing the task. I don't know how." "Harry Potter will do the task. Dobby knew Harry Potter." Harry had not found the right book, so Dobby did it for him. What? Said Harry. But you don't know what the task is. Dobby knows, sir. Harry Potter has got to go to the lake and find his Weasley. Find my what? And take his Weasley back from the Mer people. What's a Weasley? Your Weasley, sir. Your Weasley. Weasley, who is giving Dobby his sweater. Dobby plucked at the shrunken maroon sweater he was now wearing over his shorts. What? Harry gasped. They've got Ron? The thing Harry Potter will miss most, sir, squeaked Dobby. But past an hour. The prospect's black, Harry recited, staring horror-struck at the elf. It's too late. It's gone. It won't come back. Dobby, what have I got to do? You has to eat this, sir, squeaked the elf. And he put his hand in the pocket of his shorts and drew out a ball of what looked like slimy grayish-green rat tails. Right before you go into the lake, sir, gillyweed. What's it do? Harry said, staring at the gillyweed. It will make Harry Potter breathe underwater, sir. Dobby, said Harry frantically, listen, are you sure about this? He couldn't quite forget the last time Dobby had tried to help him. He had ended up with no bones in his right arm. Dobby is quite sure, sir, said the elf earnestly. Dobby hears things, sir. He is a house elf. He goes all over the castle as he lights the fires and mops the floors. Dobby heard Professor McGonagall and Professor Moody in the staff room talking about the next task. Dobby cannot let Harry Potter lose his Weasley. Dobby, it's Weasley. Harry's doubts vanished. Oh goodness, I got caught up in the story. I didn't even realize I'd read for 12 minutes already. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there is no break. Let's see. All right. Harry's doubts vanished, jumped to his feet, pulled off the invisibility cloak, stuffed it into his bag, grabbed the gillyweed, and put it into his pocket, then tore out of the library with Dobby at his heels. Dobby is supposed to be in the kitchen, sir, Dobby squealed as they burst into the corridor. Dobby will be missed. Good luck, Harry Potter, sir. Good luck. See you later, Dobby, Harry shouted, and he sprinted along the corridor and down the stairs, 3 at a time. Oh, whoa! Oh, this is exciting. I can't wait to do the next video so I can read and see what finds out. And see what happens and find out what happens.